bright and early. I'm talking, I'm out of the door by 7:45 because my neighbor, I'm not caffeinated yet, but my neighbor, or my neighboring unit rather, they're putting in a bunch of, they're moving in, so they got to put in a bunch of gas lines and stuff. So I'm going to come in and kind of let them mosey around. They got to bring in like the big scissor lift and drill a couple holes in the wall. So I got to come in a little early. I'm glad I've got my pallet jack in the gym because that makes it actually doable to lift up some of these chest presses and like pec decks and stuff and just scoot them out of the way just a little. You know, I don't need to move them across the freaking gym, but just enough to make some room. So that's actually step number one. I'm not headed straight to the lift. We're going to go get that set up so they can get all their work done. And then when they're working, I'll just kind of go to a gym that's a little bit closer by. And then, yeah, I need to freaking order that cardio bike pedal replacement. I just don't know which one to get because they're all like so freaking weird. I don't know. And I feel like if I order it from like Matrix customer support, it's going to take months to get delivered or something because it's like they're taking it off of their regular product line. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, now diet-wise, definitely trying to improve my excuse me. Trying to improve my efficiency. So if I come into this gym to do a morning lift, what's the point in driving 15 minutes to or you know, getting in the car, driving and then parking and then walking in and then talking to somebody and then maybe going to the bathroom. By then 20 minutes have passed and I haven't even done my post-workout cardio yet. I could have been halfway done or at least almost there. So yeah, I think that's on my to-do list. I'm going to put a link. So this is where I'm actually asking for some help now. I'm going to put a link to that bike that I got in the description. So if you're somehow actually experienced on like ordering these replacement parts, or if you like know a guy who knows a gym dude or whoever, I would actually really appreciate it because I've been looking around and I don't know, and I don't want to just blow like $300 ordering stuff and then it's wrong. And then even if I do manage to get a refund, it's going to take like 3 months because I got to ship it back in. They got to confirm it. What if it's coming from China? Then there's no chance I'm going to get a refund. If I got it from like Alibaba, I don't know. I'm not complaining, but it is a situation that I want to figure out. But yeah, plan for this morning is just hamstrings. Once I get packed up in here. I'm sorry for yawning. I can't control it. But yeah, I'm going to go hit some hamstrings, a little bit of calves, some adductor. So the adductor and calves part, really low-ish stakes. For me to do adductors to the point where they're pretty like, damaged and activated, it doesn't take that much, you know? All I got to do is camp out. Your adductors are pretty strong. So for me to sit down, do the stack, or just basically pick a weight that's decently heavy, and then just do like 8 sets of 10 or 8 sets of 12. They don't even have to be the total failure, but just to actually really feel it, get a good contraction. The next day, especially since I haven't hit adductors for a little while, tomorrow I bet they're going to be on freaking fire. So that's I think that'll be the plan for that portion. That'll be after hamstrings. So hams is simple enough. Actually, wait a second. You said quads? I just did hamstrings. Yeah, what am I thinking? My mind is totally backwards here. I'm doing quads today. Okay. Yeah, it's too freaking early. I gotta get back on my good routine. Yeah, so today's quads. Alright, I'll have to think that over. I gotta change my headspace. Because if I drove all the way to the gym with hamstrings on my mind, then I would just want to do hamstrings because I'm already in hamstring mode. So, okay, this will take me a second. I'll think about what I want to add in. Nothing wild. Leg extensions, maybe some sissy squats. Just enough to get them pumped up, but not actually like wreck my knees. That's kind of my main priority. But yeah, okay. Quads. Alright, let me get myself in a quad headspace. I'm going to go park, let these guys into the unit, and then I will see you for set number 1. Likelihood of a leg extension, very high. All right, let's get real with 6 plates. So, nothing crazy. All right. Ooh, okay. Let's do 2 more of those. So that's not insane failure, but I'm accruing damage in my quads at a pretty decent pace. All right. Yeah, let's camp out here. Okay. Let's see if I can do this one without stopping. All right. Oh shit. One more. Oh my God. There we go. All right. Kind of rocking that military look with the cuffed, kind of lighter nylon Gymshark pants. I forget the exact line of these, but actually with these boots, these are kind of freaking cool. But let's stop doing a freaking fit breakdown and swap it for a pump breakdown. So yeah, a little bit of a chat after that second set of leg press, which is cool. That guy was a goddamn beast. So new freaking gym buddy, that's for sure. But yeah, I can tell the pump may have suffered just a little bit, but that's okay. Because honestly, I just need to make sure my quads are well stimulated right now. I don't have to have an absolutely skin splitting pump every session. I just need to make sure that the meat I have on my bones now doesn't come off. You know what I'm saying? But let me do a little bit of a left side grain shot. So even this, barely flexing. Like This is just like a flex is here. Like this is just doing a little separation of like upper, outer, medial quad. But yeah, let me try to really see how much of this feathering I can get going on. And this is partly genetic, but I do think heavy quad training in an off season is going to translate into some additional quad grain. Like I think if Tom Platz didn't train so hard and heavy, he wouldn't have that grainy, freaky ass quad look that he has when he cuts down. But this outer quad is particularly gifted in the grain department. So let me try to bust it out. Oh. I'm even getting a little bit of freaking calf grain going on in there from the outside. Oh, man. Well, that's absolutely what I want to see. So even though this isn't like show ready, carbed up and like water depleted, so just to break it down, what's going to happen the week of my bodybuilding show, not to do a little peak week talk with no pants on, is I'm going to chill out on food a little, flatten out a little bit, increase my water intake for a couple days, like a week, and then really reduce it the day before the show, or the day before the show. I forget the exact schedule. And what that's going to do is essentially wring out the sponge that is all my muscle throughout my entire body. It's going to suck out some water, especially in the layer between my outer skin and my muscle. And then when I eat a crap ton of food and carbs and a healthy amount of water to match, because when you carb up, it's not just sugar and carbs getting moved throughout your system. It has to use water to kind of facilitate that. Glycogen, glycocarb, ogen, hydrogen, water. At least I think that's the gist. But either way, all of those carbs need some water to actually fill back up. So what's going to happen is I'm going to wring myself out, and then by filling up again, my body's going to fill up my muscle first, not that above the muscle under the skin layer, So once I do that, it's just going to look like I'm a friggin' hyperinflated, badass version of myself for a couple days, and then I'll go back to normal. Peak week, peaking isn't a perpetual state of being. It's more just like a temporary thing. But no post-workout cardio from quads, especially with that leg press in there too. I'll still do my cardio tonight. Maybe I'll do a little extra to balance. But I think if I did 45 minutes on the bike or 45 minutes on the treadmill with pumped, fatigued quads, could hinder my quad recovery just a touch. Not that I like destroyed them to bits, but it might just be better to take off a little bit. So let's get in the car, man. Good lift. All right, yeah, no cardio. No cardio turned in an hour of the treadmill. So not the bike. And the treadmill is really not that hard on your legs, but I don't know. I don't feel good skipping it, right? And not because of like some insatiable need, but I just, I'm very protective over like trying to prevent myself from falling for the mentality of, man, just chill. Just chill, man. Take it a little easier. You're good. Just chill. Just chill. Take that cardio session off. Boom, man. You're good. Don't worry about it. Because if you take that to the extreme and somebody really leans into the just chill mentality, you're good. Don't worry about it. Not awesome, Now, you could say that you can make the same argument that it's also a problem to go too hard into the serious side. It's a problem to say, you're always after it. I think in the context, actual bodybuilding prep, I'd rather go too hard than not hard enough. I'd rather do a little too much cardio than not enough cardio. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a mindset which is probably progress-wise, a little bit more likely to elicit some gains I mean, I'm sure we all know the guy who's like, oh crap, man, I didn't even study for this test. All right, let's see what happens. Now, sometimes the guy aces it because he's just a baller and he's got that knowledge game, and then other times it's the exact situation you might expect. Oh, D minus. Come on, man, bump me up to a B. Come on, you ever send that email, dude? Can you just, it's not that many points. Just bump me up. Just bump me up 30%. Terrible. But nah, so I feel pretty good about that. Maybe I'll take tonight's cardio session off because I already did an extra 15. I wonder if I don't know. I was just in a groove. It just felt really good. So if I'd rather make hay while the sun's shining and do a little extra cardio, especially while I'm in like a cardio mode, because if I'm like really trudging to actually finish the 45 minutes and I'm watching the clock and I'm like just like the seconds could not tick past any slower, that's a little bit more rough. But if you're in the zone and just you're playing on your phone, you're going down a different rabbit hole, you're watching a video, you're looking up something that you want to get or some whatever, I mean, time passes by pretty quick. I can kill an hour like that laying down and in bed, kicking my feet up with the blankets on, just messing around on my phone. It's a little harder to kill the hour when during it you're on the treadmill, or maybe you are on the bike or the Stairmaster. And at an hour Stairmaster, you're a different kind of dude, that's for sure. But it can be done. It can be done. It can most certainly be done. So yeah, what does that put me at? 42 days out. I think I might have gotten my days mixed up a little bit. I don't know, let me check. I got a tracker on my, 42. I put a widget on my home screen. It's got a picture of me flexing and it says 42 days until the Arnold Classic. Just as like a little daily reminder of what's going on. But yeah, so 42 days, 6 weeks exactly. Very nice. Very freaking nice. I'd say that adds up to about 5 weeks of any potential dieting leanness changes. I'll definitely get a little bit leaner. I want to see some glute striations. But one thing that I actually learned from last prep, which I wasn't really expecting, is that water depletion carb up phase is crazy. Like and I think I did it pretty well. I kind of had to overdo it with the water depletion side because I had to sweat out some water the day of check-in so that I could actually make weight, which kind of makes it a little trickier to really carb up because that like hot bath action sort of prevents you from really filling up as much because it's kind of a stress on your system. But me just in the gym the week of that show versus that morning, or especially there's a clip of me outside the parking lot when I got that first tan layer on and I'm hitting a couple shots. Whoa, that peak week is going to be a big ass jump. So me on my last workout, which is probably going to be about 3 days out from the show, so I compete on Friday. I'm not going to lift on, I'm not going to lift on that Friday, of course. I'm not going to lift on that Thursday. I probably won't even lift on Wednesday. Yeah, I think I'll do 2 days off beforehand because you kind of want to let your whole system chill. You want to be as de-stressed as possible, and not stressed mentally. I mean like physically, like you don't want any residual inflammation. Like if the day before the Arnold, I did a really crazy leg day, my legs wouldn't look as cut up because they're going to be residually slightly pumped from just the inflammation of that workout, So it felt very strange to take like 2 days off and the third day for the competition. But that is kind of the gist of it if you want to really maximize like your on stage look. And I'm not going to get any bigger, leaner, or crazier looking from those 3 workouts. 3 days, I'm saying like usually a week out, but 3 days out from the show, it's over. I'm going to look how I look. There's no change in anything about it. Probably better or worse, apart from that whole peaking action. But me on that last lift versus that morning of show day, especially once I'm already kind of carved up, like I was saying in the mirror, with that like water depletion where my subcutaneous fat layer, because I'm still going to have some body fat on me. I'm not, no one's 0%. But from doing that water pulling and then carbing up, where that layer thins, and then the muscle underneath is actually bigger the next morning, oh, dude, it's going to be nuts. So that's fun for me. That is very fun for me to know that even as much progress as I feel like I'm making now, going slow, gradual cardio day by day, more like week by week changes, there's still something extra waiting for me at the end because of that sort of peak week, let's just call it a peak week bonus, honestly. So that's going to be really cool. And one thing that I'm doing this time versus last time, or at least that I want to do this time versus last time, is just get way more like videos, not even like to post, just like videos and pictures, because I did not take enough last prep. Like I feel like I was certainly feeling it, of course, but I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do my thing. I'm gonna keep. Whereas this, I want to look back at more freaking random clips. So I'll try to get a little more vlog sort of style stuff going on, especially competition day. So I'll make a big ass video for that. That'll be like hour and a half Sam Sulek at the movie, and just kind of get the whole sort of process going on there. I think that'll be pretty cool. But I feel good. Quads thrashed, maybe even too thrashed, but probably not, in a good way. So now I get to go home and slam. What do I want to get down on? I got a bowl of steak, kind of cooked and not cubed but sliced. I think that is gonna do me very well, tandem with some sugar-free barbecue sauce. Yeah, I think that'll be freaking perfect. And then maybe a post-cardio, post-workout nap. And it's about to get icy. It's about to get freaking icy. So I think the gist is starting. So today's Friday. Obviously never look at your phone and drive at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. People have been hyping up this crazy snowstorm in the U.S. on like kind of the northeast side, like Ohio, New York, that top right side of the states, and they might be overblowing it, but as the story goes, Saturday night, so tomorrow night, there's going to be like 10 inches of snow, absolutely freezing cold temperatures. And what happens is if it gets cold enough, salting the roads to melt the snow will no longer work, because it just doesn't, like something about the thermodynamics of the salt lowering the freezing temperature of water at a certain temperature, it just isn't going to work anymore. So that means they've got to send out all of the trucks and like even individual contracted landscapers and just like the city to come out and plow a ton of extra freaking snow. So Sunday, which I guess the video would be posted on Monday, may have to be a little bit of a rest day, or maybe a home workout in the basement day. So I'll see how that weather progresses. I'm a little bit too far from the gym to do a Dorian Yates trudge my way there. I think I'm like about 10 miles away from the gym. So in the snow, let's assume I could maybe walk, let's say 1.5 miles an hour, depending on if it was really snowy. Shit, that would take a little bit too long. I do have a cardio bike in the basement, so cardio will not be hindered whatsoever, but I don't have any weights. So maybe it might be good tomorrow when I go in to work out to take some dumbbells home with me, because tomorrow, well, actually, shit, what am I talking about? Sunday is a back day for me, because today's Friday, correct? Yeah. So Sunday's a back day. I could just do my own back day, mostly pull-up based in the basement. That's not that tricky to figure out. I'll see how I feel. I'll see. We'll just have to adjust accordingly. It wouldn't be bad to throw in a rest day about now. I've kind of been really getting after it for a few weeks straight. Maybe a day of even no cardio, no lift at all might be good. Just as like a little bit of a inflammation, stress, sort of just crash to get back to a nice chill baseline. But I don't know. And this is a logic that I think is just brought up a lot of like, you can do too much, you can come on, you got to rest, man. Same thing like I was talking about before with the cardio. It's like, yeah, obviously you do need a certain amount of rest, but without the training actually being the basic, like, primal stimulus of everything in your progress, you're not going to get anywhere. So obviously it needs to be a good synergy of energy, but if it's all rest, shit, there's nothing to rest or recover from. So I'd rather lean on the side of going as heavy and consistent, and by heavy I just mean like an overall workload and consistency with the training side of things, and then making sure I'm recovering well enough on the back end to facilitate that. So I'm not I gotta go on record every so often, I'm not anti-rest day. I just don't like when people hype them up and take them more than necessary only because they want to take a day off and chill. If someone told me, yeah, I was not feeling like hitting the gym today, I just want to take the day off, come back stronger tomorrow, well, that makes sense. I get it. But if somebody I know is probably like thinking that, but then justifying, just to put it very simply, like justifying their like lack of drive and kind of laziness a little bit by defending it with, oh, it's a rest day, man. It's like, really? You've had 8 rest days this week. Or you've had it, or whatever. Like, how often are you really even training? So just keep it in mind. And yeah, I guess that's all I'm really trying to say. Is this guy gonna? Yeah, he's good. I want to put up like a ring camera right here or something. This bridge is 12 and a half feet tall. And oftentimes on my drive home, I have to do a U-turn and spin way around because trucks or truckers who don't know the area come through here, and then they rip the top of their cab off because they're too high up and they don't know the height. I thought that guy was about to do it, and I actually get to see it in person. But he was good. He had more than a few feet of clearance. But yeah, I think in a couple days this is going to go from kind of dreary, just plains, to a winter freaking wonderland. So that'll be fun. That'll be cool to see. So I guess one last little word of warning: if that's you, if you're in this area that's going to be snowbound, do not spin out and crash your car. Not awesome. I see it a lot, even in like minor snowstorms on the highway, just wherever. Like, what's the benefit of what you're going to go out and do versus the cost of if you end up spinning out, or you drive perfectly and then somebody who doesn't know what they're doing crashes into you, and then you're really screwed because it's like, shit, I didn't even do anything wrong. Just, err on the side of safety, I'd say. That's my last little tip from Sam. Not that you need me to tell you that. I know you know what you're doing. But yeah, 42 days out. I'm feeling good. 42 days down, 41 to go. Let's keep on moving. But yeah, so I'll see you for what I hope to be a very well lit chest day. I'm upgrading the gym lighting setup a little bit. That's how I want to differentiate it from anybody else. Obviously, the equipment's sweet with all the arsenal stuff and the weights, and it's all very kind of on theme. But the lights kind of make it look extra cool, and that's fun for me with the videos too, because some of the lights look really cool on camera. So in the future, I know I'm gonna look back and think, yeah, hell yeah, well worth it to buy all those crazy like Bluetooth LED whatever just for some badass pose downs. But that's all I got. No more rambling. I'll see you tomorrow.